Hello everyone! Today I will be showing you some great news regarding Tesla and Bitcoin. I will tell you everything you need to know about it, and then I will also show you some controversy about Tesla and Bitcoin. And finally, in the end of the video, I will show you some other Tesla stock news and Tesla energy business news. So with this out of the way, let's get into the video. So here on the market watch we can see that Tesla has already made about $1 billion in Bitcoin, which is more than a 2020 profit from their car sales. And some analyst says that while the Bitcoin investment is a sideshow for Tesla, it has clearly been a good initial investment and a trend we expect could have a ripple impact for other public companies over the next 12 to 18 months. So as you probably know, Tesla bought about $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin earlier this month, and because the price of Bitcoin has been soaring lately, that means that they are doing huge profits at the moment, and those profits are so huge that it's more than from all of the cars sold in 2020, which was around 500,000 cars. So obviously this is an amazing news for Tesla, and it looks like this trend could continue for the next few weeks or even months. Also, as they bought the 1.5 billion of Bitcoin this month, they also said that they expect to begin accepting payments in the cryptocurrency for their products in the future, which would be great because that would mean that Bitcoin would be more usable by the general public, and also because the value goes up of Bitcoin right now, they could be making even more profit from the car sales themselves. We can also see that on Saturday, Bitcoin hit $57,000, which is more than 90% gain in 2021 alone. So this is great news for Bitcoin owners as well. However, Tesla stock is not doing bad. It's up 11% since the start of the year, in comparison to indexes like Jones Industrial Average or the S&P 500 index or even the Nasdaq Composite. Still, Tesla is doing more gains than them. The analysts expect that still less than 5% of public companies will head down this route of Tesla until more regulatory goalposts are put in place around the crypto. And in my opinion, this puts a lot of pressure on those other big tech companies like Apple or Amazon or Microsoft. So they will have to answer a lot of questions about Bitcoin, why they have not yet bought any Bitcoin, and if they're gonna buy Bitcoin in the future as well. Therefore, we can see maybe more companies, more big tech companies buying into Bitcoin this year, as well as Tesla did. Then there is this controversy that Bitcoin actually is quite bad for the climate and the environment, which kind of counters Tesla's mission to move the world to more sustainable energy and more clean energy. Obviously, for the SEC filings, Tesla gave kind of an official reasoning behind this, but I think it's maybe a bit different in the Elon Musk's way of thinking, so maybe there is another reason why he did it. So here we can see that Tesla's mission is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. However, there is also described that Bitcoin is kind of climate damaging, which is contrary to the Tesla's mission. So this would be more of a deep dive into how Bitcoin is actually climate damaging and not using energy efficiently. However, the general idea is that Bitcoin uses these processes to verify transactions as the mining procedure, and this is very energy consuming because you need a lot of computing power to actually process those transactions. Then, for example, another cryptocurrency such as ETH, which runs on the Ethereum blockchain, is currently changing its architecture to reduce the energy usage of its validation process by a 99%, which would be a drastic reduction of the energy usage, which is great. This just means that it will push another of those blockchain systems to focus on the energy reduction as well. So I think that from this point the energy efficiency will only get better on those other blockchain systems. Also, this is not just about if the electricity itself it is made by renewable generated energy or coal power plants. It's more about the fact that it uses a lot of energy. So even if it would use only renewable generated electricity, it's still a big issue because of the huge electricity consumption. For example, here is a great analogy that in terms of climate damage, processing and validating an average single Bitcoin transaction is equivalent to the carbon footprint of 678,000 circa Visa transactions or 51,000 hours of watching YouTube, according to the Digiconomist. So at the moment, this generates annualized carbon emissions of around 37 million metric tons of CO2, which is comparable to the annual carbon footprint of the whole New Zealand. So pretty substantial. However, Elon Musk recently proposed a big prize of $100 million to anyone who will solve this CO2 problem we have, for example, with the Bitcoin. So in the future, I may make a video about how Bitcoin could actually optimize energy use and when these changes could be applied to reduce the carbon footprint of Bitcoin transactions. And now to the short news about Tesla stock. I found that ARK Invest still continues buying Tesla shares at this price today because they believe in the Tesla autonomy and ride-sharing business is about to start. If you heard about robotaxis with the autonomous system driving these Tesla cars around big cities, they could ride much more than the traditional taxi services or Uber and therefore be much more profitable, also much more safe because it will be driven by the Tesla autopilot. So ARK Invest and Katie Wood are still bullish because they think the ride-sharing business is far more lucrative than just selling electric cars themselves, and also the fact that the Tesla now has 30 billion miles of real-world driving data is a huge factor as well. She also added that she thinks that Google might have only a 30 million real-world driving data, which is a factor of magnitude less than Tesla has right now at the moment, and it will only get better as more Teslas are on the road and collecting data all the time. Every time you engage and disengage the autopilot, it sends those data caps back to Tesla to process and improve the autopilot itself. And finally, for the energy side of business, we can see that Tesla solar roofs are perfectly self-cleaning in the snow. So that means that if there is any snowfall, it doesn't mean that you will stop generating electricity. That would be quite stupid, to be honest. So obviously Tesla has this covered. So when there is a snowfall, it will fall from the roof or just melt, and this will enable the roof to be generating electricity even in the snowy conditions. So this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please leave a like or subscribe and tell me in the comments what you would like to see next. With this, I thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one.